welcome back to the Throned Out YouTube page. We're back with another video. You're back with another view, and today, why am I wearing a yellow bandana on my head? I promise I'm not a gang member, I'm not gangbanging. I don't know, I just felt like it today. Something different, because this image that we're looking at today is definitely something different. But before we get into that, we have to shout out Mr. Big Beeple, the artist behind the most expensive NFT to have ever been sold at $69 million US. This image is not your normal digital art. It's not just a random sketch. It's not just something cool and funny. This is 5,000 images combined to make one supreme super image, and it was sold as the most expensive NFT ever. And if you want to know why, you need to really take a look at these images. That's what this whole channel is about. That's what we do from video after video after video, day after day after day, is we look into these images. We try to figure out, what do these images mean? What are they trying to show? What is the deeper symbolism? And sometimes I think, is this artist Beeple even human, bro? How is he that smart to be able to think of these things that he's thinking of, and to, you know, create just the artwork he's making? It takes a lot of intelligence. So shout out Mr. Big Beeple. If you want to look at his artwork, the link is in the description below to his website. And you know, I'm not getting paid to promote him. I certainly don't have enough views for him to even care. But yeah, go check his artwork out and see it for yourself. Then come back to this channel and we'll take a look at it together. Now, let's take a look at today's video. Are you ready for this? This image is called WAT, spelled W-A-T, WAT. Now take a look at this. Take a look at this. My God. So in this image, you know what, for Beeple standards this isn't even weird, but for your average internet user looking on the internet, this is like, yep, this is one of those moments where it's like, yep, that's enough internet for me today. Close the fucking computer. Oh, forgive my language. But yeah, we have two images above the bed. An image of a normal looking man and an image of what looks like a flipping animal. Then we have a bed with red velvet sheets, with pink pillows, and the back part of the bed, I'm sure there's a word for it, but they've got a grey back part of the bed. Now let's get to the main components of the image. We've got a man who is in his boxers. This appears to be a white man. He's bald, and he is heavily engrossed upon this chicken. I don't know if it's a turkey or it's a chicken. Let's call it a turkey. So there's this massive turkey. It looks quite well seasoned. It looks quite well cooked. And you've got this big boy flipping turkey lying on the bed, and you've got the man going to town on this turkey. Now, I've seen people eat turkey. I know it's a Thanksgiving tradition, but the way my man is eating it, no, that's not normal. And if you're careful, you might even notice that there's a lot of juices going onto the bed sheets, onto the red velvet bed sheets. My lord. So before we start talking about what does this image mean, what is it trying to show, and what is the deeper behind the sweeper, I want to just say that this is quite a nice room. You know, the bed sheet, it looks really nice. It's a double bed. It looks like quite a comfortable bed. And you know, I like the decorations on the walls. It seems like a very sophisticated but anyways, enough of that waffle. Now, what is this image meaning? What is this image trying to show? So, my God. So this man clearly is going down on this turkey. And this turkey, you know, there's clearly something sexual going on here. There's clearly something very intimate going on right here. You know, this isn't your average bedroom antics. You know, this isn't your normal kind of fetishes and desires. This is something quite peculiar and quite extraordinary, to say the least. Now, my God, so before I discuss what I want to talk about, I just want to say the two pictures on top of the chicken I think the one on the right is supposed to be this guy. Maybe when he's had hair on his head, that's what he looks like. But he appears to be a very sophisticated man. You know, this is judging him based off his appearance. He seems like a sophisticated man, an articulated man, a man who's got his stuff together, you know. And then on the left hand side there's a picture of an animal. Now a turkey is essentially an animal, it's a chicken. Oh my god, the image on the left is an image of the turkey back when it was alive. Oh, I think we've just clocked it. The image on the left is the turkey back when it was alive, because it does look like some sort of bird or some sort of winged animal. And then the image on the right is of this man, you know, at his best. And of course they're down in the bedroom and things are getting wild, you know. So I think I've kind of figured this image out, and I want to tell you guys what I think. If you disagree or if you agree, leave your comments down below. Let's get talking, let's get interpreting together. Now what I think this image is trying to show is oh my god, I don't know how to say this without sounding quite vulgar. So you know, this image right here, this episode, this video is not for younger audiences. If you are below the age of 18, please click off this video and click on another one of my videos. And you know, if you don't feel comfortable with the discussion of intimate and very personal topics, please click off this video right now. So now let's get into it. What I think this video is trying to show is the whole concept of chicken dinner wives. You know, there's a lot of married couples out there, and you know, a lot of the time what they're having for dinner is chicken dinners, you know. Every evening when it's dinner time, they're sat together and they're having a chicken dinner, man. It could be some marinated chicken, some fried chicken, some grilled chicken, or some kind of turkey. Yeah. Now what you need to understand about the female is a very sentimental being, a very sensitive creature, and anything that goes inside of the female body, especially to do with health and especially to do with, you know, the keeping of the body, it tends to have an influence over the female genitalia. Now what I mean by that is, if a woman eats a lot of you know, unhealthy foods, a lot of salty foods and sugary foods, and she never does any kind of exercise, it would not be completely unnatural for, you know, something to go on with her genital area. Perhaps, you know, a scent to start coming out of it, a bad scent to start coming out of that area, you know, perhaps an infection, some sort of infection, some sort of, you know, something unhygienic going on out there. It wouldn't be completely unnatural. And that is if she was to consume a lot of junk food, a lot of bad food and fast food, and never exercise. It would not be completely unnatural for some unhygienic things to start developing and start going on within that genital area, you know. So often, if a lot of women are eating chicken, you know, especially modern days chicken, because the chicken back in the days, it was a lot more fresh and a lot more pure. Nowadays this whole chicken farming industry and this chicken butchering industry does require a lot of you know, inhumane things going on. A lot of these chickens are kept in treacherous conditions. They're being injected with water, and you know, these they're kept in very poor conditions. I've even heard that they're living amongst their own feces. So modern day chicken farming and chicken butchering is very unhygienic, and there's a lot more that goes into the chicken than just the meat of the chicken. You know, there's all types of injections and chemicals going into these chickens. And I heard from one YouTube video that one of the side effects of this new form of chicken which people have been consuming, or this altered form of chicken, is that it can actually enlarge female breasts. It can make female breasts a lot bigger. Consuming too much chicken can actually increase the size of the breast, and you know, increase the size of the rest of the body. But essentially, you know, a lot of women are chicken dinner wives. You know, most families, Christian families, Muslim families, not Hindu, but you know, Jewish families, they consume a lot of chicken. They eat a lot of chicken, and there's a lot of chicken dinner wives out there. And whatever goes into the body has an effect on the genital region. I guess the sensations and the flavors and the scents, and you know, even the aura, whatever, of that genital region. Now, it's not the sole determining factor. What a woman eats is not the sole determining factor behind the conditions of her genitalia. There's a lot more that goes into it. For example, mental health, the way she thinks. If she thinks more positively, it's more likely to have a positive smell and a positive health. If she thinks more negatively, it's more likely to have a negative smell and a negative health to it. She's more likely to contract diseases. The mind is very strong. Also, exercise has a big part to play in it. A woman who exercises is more likely to have a more healthy genitalia, whereas a woman who does no movement and no exercise is more likely to have an infected genitalia. Now, this man right here is going down. You know, it doesn't take an idiot to figure out what he's doing. He's going down on this woman. He is quite clearly providing oral sex for this woman. You know, it doesn't take a genius to figure out what he's doing. And we have by now established that this turkey does not represent an actual turkey. It represents a woman and what's gone inside of the woman. And this man is going to town on her genitalia, providing her oral sex. So, you know, and essentially what he's licking is essentially what's gone inside her. You know, let's say there's a woman who eats a Big Mac from McDonald's every day. If you go down and you start, you know, away at her genitalia, if you think about it, you're essentially, you know, getting into the flavors of a Big Mac from McDonald's. If she eats a lot of chicken and a lot of turkey, when you're going down, you're essentially getting a taste of that same chicken and turkey that's gone inside her. You know, I think you guys can kind of figure out what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to mean. You know, I don't want to say anything too explicit and get my video taken down or get, you know, a strike or anything, but I think you all know what I'm trying to say, is that what goes into a woman is what goes out of a woman. And usually, you know, if you're going down and you're eating out a woman, you also happen to be eating out whatever she's eating in. It's a crazy concept, man. It's a crazy concept. But be careful if you are going to give oral sex to a woman. I guess be careful who you're giving it to. Be careful about if she's hygienic, and you know, and honestly, man, just be careful, man. Be careful with anything to do with intercourse, anything to do with intimacy. You know, don't think you're weird, or don't think you're lame if you second think everything you do, because it's better to be safe than sorry. When it comes to intimacy, there are a lot of hazards involved. There is a lot of danger involved. You know, in certain elements, especially spiritually, there's a lot of dangers involved, especially if you are dealing with the wrong types of women. And if you know, if you're dealing with a woman who has a horrendous genital state, a woman who really does not take care of her genitalia, she doesn't clean herself, she doesn't shower, you know, she eats a lot of toxic bad foods, she never exercises, she's always thinking negative, she's quite an evil, twisted woman, and she conspires a lot. You know, it's highly likely she has a very infected and a very unhygienic genital area. And for you to put your face down and go to town on that area, knowing the type of woman this is, you know, it's essentially a form of self-degradation. You could be degrading yourself. So I believe this image right here, in a nutshell, to bring full circle, is capturing the how do I say this? Is capturing the intimacy behind the intimacy of oral sex. Is capturing the deeper nature of oral sex, and essentially what you're getting into by getting into it. You know, I think for those of you who understand what I was talking about, you're going to understand this video, and others of you are going to be watching this video thinking, what on earth is this guy talking about? What on earth drugs did this guy just take? What is he on about? But for those of you who understand, you understand. You know, just be careful if you're doing anything in the bedroom. Just be careful. Don't be afraid to second think. This man right here, he seems like a very sophisticated man in his picture. The picture on the right, just above the turkey, he seems like a very sophisticated professional man who's got his ish together. But if you see him in the bedroom, it's a whole different story, man. It's primal. It's primal. And you know, but whatever he's doing, I will say he's doing a good job, because as you can see, the juices of the turkey have leaked all over the red velvet bed sheets. So he's doing something right. But yeah, man, that's all I have to say about this image right here. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Crazy video, I know. Hopefully next video will be a bit more normal, well, for Beeple standards. But yeah, tune in next time. Like, subscribe, set the notification bell, and yeah, thanks for tuning in.